Welcome to another segment of Talk and Do with CPDI, a program where we talk Nigeria as it is and do Nigeria as it ought to be. Today we'll be continuing our discussion on Section 15 of the Chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which has to do with political objectives. My name is Chris Nwani, and with me in the studio is my brother in the New Nigeria is Possible vision.
Yeah, my name is Henry Debem, and thank you for having me.
This program is brought to you by CPDI in collaboration with the New Nigeria is Possible team. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Section 15 of Chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which has to do with the political objectives. And this very aspect of the Constitution really explain, what Nigeria represents to us as a people and how we are expected to relate with the country as it has to do with the government and other citizens of Nigeria. So we'll be taking it step by step. We have different subsections in this segment, and we'll be looking at them and having an in-depth understanding of what it's all about. But first of all, let us go listen to the views of the public about how much they know about this aspect of the Nigerian Constitution, and then come back again to bring out the details of it, for proper understanding, so that people can truly have an idea of what the Constitution is saying and what is expected of them to do. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
You sabi the motto of Nigeria,
Nigerian motto?
Yeah.
No.
Which are unity now? Peace and unity? Okay, is that all? That's all, yeah.
Unity and peace, peace and progress.
If you would marry outside your tribe, which other tribe in Nigeria would you marry from and why?
If you marry any tribe, for me, for the women I see, I don't see any reason of no marrying any tribe with me I wish to. I will get married, so that's not Nigerians to be.
So nobody say you get mind where you say, for this place, they know they marry for you.
No. So if I say I like the girl, and I just she like me, and our family and my family they accept for we to be together. You understand? I would take her.
My babe is from Cross River. She's the best, and I don't think I must not marry my tribe. If she's good and we are good, that's okay. If you understand each other, that is okay by me. I must not marry my tribe.
Very good one. Good one.
Welcome back as we delve into the discussion of this section 15 of Chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm sure you are so excited, listening to,
very well,
to our citizens out there, the passion, which they spoke about their nation, the love for their nation, their preference to the Nigerian nation ahead of their ethnicity.
Yeah.
So how do you feel listening to these people?
Wow, very, very excited. In fact, I'm so proud of them. They made me so proud of the country. At least because my thinking there, or my perception, is that if that should be coming out from common citizens, in that local suburb, and they have, in spite of what is going on, because this is just still very current, in spite of the situation in the country, they are still, expressing their patriotism, their love for the country. They don't mind about their tribe. All of them choosing Nigeria before their tribes and everything. And I think they would have been a lot more excited to know that even the constitution of the country that they love this much also supports that ideology, that perception, of diversity, unity, peace and progress. And a good number of them had good idea of what the motto. I was expecting someone to say that the motto of Nigeria is innocent. It's innocent motto. So I was I'm telling you, I'm so happy with that.
Honestly, it has come to stay that we are Nigerians and we have no other country outside Nigeria. And the better we are together than divided.
Exactly.
We all know, at least, the only thing we've not been able to do is to harness these opportunities we have to lead our nation great.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think it's important we also look into these these items on the section 15 because they are very, very key to help detail them. Some of them just spoke about it, but they may not know the details, especially the number 1, which says
apá mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún ti ìwé òfin àgbà ti orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà sọ wípé gbólóhùn ọ̀rọ̀ ìjọba àpapọ̀ olómìnira ti Nàìjíríà yóò jẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan àti ìgbàgbọ́, àlàáfíà àti ìtẹ̀síwájú. Nítorí náà, ìfọwọ́wẹ́wọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè yóò wà ní ṣíṣe pẹ̀lú akitiyan nígbà tí ìyàsọ́tọ̀ lórí ìpilẹ̀ṣẹ̀, ìmọ̀ akọ tàbí abo, ẹ̀sìn, ipò, ẹ̀yà tàbí àkójọpọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ èdè kò ní wà ní ìfaramọ́. Fún ìdí ìgbélárugẹ ìsopọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè, yóò jẹ́ ojúṣe ti ìpínlẹ̀ láti pèsè ohun èlò tó péye fún àti ṣe ìwúrí rírìn ọ̀fẹ́ ti ènìyàn, àwọn ẹrù àti àwọn iṣẹ́ jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè àpapọ̀, ṣe ààbò àwọn ẹ̀tọ́ ibùgbé ní kíkún ti gbogbo ọmọ ìlú ní gbogbo apá orílẹ̀-èdè àpapọ̀, ṣe ìwúrí ìgbéyàwó láàárín àwọn ènìyàn ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ láti ibi orísun ọ̀tọ̀ tàbí ẹ̀sìn ọ̀tọ̀, ẹ̀yà tàbí àkójọpọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ èdè ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ tàbí ìsorapọ̀ àti ṣe ìgbélárugẹ tàbí ṣe ìwúrí dídásílẹ̀ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó gé kọjá ẹ̀yà, èdè, ẹ̀sìn àti àwọn ìdènà ti pípínyà apá kan. Ìjọba yóò ṣe àgbéró ìmọ̀lára ti ohun ìní àti ti ìlọ́wọ́sí láàárín àwọn oríṣiríṣi ènìyàn ti orílẹ̀-èdè àpapọ̀ láti rí pé ìṣòótọ́ sí orílẹ̀-èdè yóò ṣáájú ìṣòótọ́ sí pípínyà apá kan. Ìjọba yóò fòpin sí gbogbo ìwà ìbàjẹ́ àti ìlòkulò agbára.
Kundin tsarin mulkin Najeriya na 1999, sashi na 15, manufofin siyasa, ƙaramin sashi na 1. Taken tarayyar Najeriya shine haɗin kai da imani, aminci da ci gaba. Ƙaramin sashi na 2, saboda haka za a ƙarfafa haɗin kai na ƙasa sosai yayin da ake haramta nuna wariya akan tushen asalinsu, jinsi, addini, matsayi, ƙabila, harshe ko alaƙa. Ƙaramin sashi na 3, domin inganta haɗin kan ƙasa, zai zama aikin gwamnati wajen ƙaramin sashi na 3, a cikin baka, samar da isassun kayan aiki don ƙarfafa zirga-zirgar mutane, kayayyaki da ayyuka a ko'ina cikin ƙasar. Ba cikin baka, tabbatar da cikakken haƙƙin zama ga kowane ɗan ƙasa a duk sassan ƙasar tarayya. Ca cikin baka, ƙarfafa auratayya tsakanin mutane daga wuraren asali daban-daban, ko na addini, ƙabila ko harshe daban-daban ko dangantaka. Kuma da cikin baka, inganta ko ƙarfafa kafa ƙungiyoyi da suke da haɗaka a tsakanin ƙabila, harshe, addini ko wasu sashen. Ƙaramin sashi na 4, jiha za ta inganta jin kasancewarta a tsakanin mutane daban-daban na tarayya. Har zuwa ƙarshen wannan biyayyar ga tarayya zai yi watsi da biyayyar sashi. Ƙaramin sashi na 5, gwamnati za ta kawar da duk wata almundahana da cin zarafi.
Usoro iwu ọchịchị obodo anyị bụ Nigeria. Isiokwu nke 2, isi nkeji nke 15, akpọrọ ya ebumnuche ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị. Okwu njirimara obodo Nigeria ga-abụ ịdị n'otu, okwukwe, udo na agamnihu. Etu a ka a ga-esi kwadosi ike njikọta obodo ma machibido ịkpa oke n'ihi ebe amụrụ onye maọbụ ebe onye si, abụmnwoke abụmnwaanyị onye, okpukperechi onye, ọnọdụ ọkwa onye n'obodo, agbụrụ onye maọbụ asụsụ onye. Nke 3, maka ebumnuche ịkwalite ịdị n'otu obodo Nigeria, ọ ga-abụ ọrụ nke steeti n'ime ihe ndị a. N'ime nke 3, inye ohere zuru oke maka ịkwado ngagharị na mbugharị ndị mmadụ, ngwaahịa na ọrụ aka ndị mmadụ na mpaghara akụkụ obodo Nigeria niile. N'ime nke 3, nchekwa ikike citizen ọbụla ibi n'ebe ọbụla masịrị ya n'akụkụ ọbụla n'obodo Nigeria. N'ime nke 3, ịkwado alụmdi na nwunye n'etiti ndị mmadụ si n'ebe ọmụmụ dị iche iche maọbụ okpukperechi dị iche iche maọbụ agbụrụ maọbụ asụsụ dị iche iche. N'ime nke atọ, ịkwado mmejupụta ọtụtụ otu nke nwere ndị mmadụ si na ọtụtụ agbụrụ, asụsụ, okpukperechi na ngalaba ndị ọzọ dị iche iche. Nke anọ, steeti ga-akwalite n'ime ndị mmadụ niile mmetụta agụụ ma ọ bụ ọchịchọ isonye nwere obodo na isonye n'ihe a na-eme n'etiti ndị mmadụ niile, na ụdị na irubelu obodo etiti isi ga-abụ izizi tupu irubelu agbụrụ na nkeji ngalaba ndị ọzọ onye si isi. Nke ise, steeti ga-ekpochapụ omume mpụ, omume rụrụ arụ na iji ike ọchịchị na-eme ihe n'ụzọ na-ezighị ezi.
Each time I look at that, I just see it as a normal saying or a normal motto. But behind it is a strong, unity. It means it must come by faith.
Yeah.
You don't unite with people just because
you don't believe in. Yeah.
First of all, you believe in them before you now begin to say, okay, extend your handshake towards them.
Yeah.
Then from there, anything can flow.
Yeah.
And it's always good, when you extend your hands of fellowship to your brother to say, come.
Yeah.
It's by faith. It's not that the person you may not have any reason. For example, I may not have had any reason, to meet with an Hausa man, Yoruba man, or Igbo man, but for the fact that I know he's a Nigerian, by faith he's my brother.
Yeah.
And then that relationship can begin from there.
Yeah.
That's what I see. That the unity we're seeking for in Nigeria does not have to rest on all the challenges we've had, but in the faith of a better tomorrow, that whatever challenges we've had in the past can be resolved now.
Yeah.
I think that is where it's an important area I really want us to talk about.
Yeah.
And then extending it to peace and progress, because two of them also goes together. If there's no peace, there will not be progress.
Yeah.
Today, the retrogression in Nigeria is because of the insecurity we are seeing. And these are the things that we ought to begin to look at. How do we pull down these wrong structures that is now creating fear, disbelief among the people? So I know you would like to speak on this, on the motto of Nigeria.
Actually, my main excitement, like I said earlier, is the fact that the Vox Pop, demonstrated clearly, not very clearly, but that most people out there, know what Nigerian motto is. And Nigerian motto is a kind of it should be a kind of a bloodline, a vision that everybody we all agree to work with. So they now understand that there is this fact that we should be united by let me not say by faith, but faith there in my interpretation should be for the fact that you understand that we are all coming from one source, however you want to call it, but we believe that there is this central creator, that created all of us and made all of us, and that creator is not divided upon himself. So we should see ourselves as coming from the same source, the same father. That's the faith, and that should be the source and the motivation for our unity. So I'm seeing you as God in you, as a human being. All those identities and diversities or social whatever, we just
are man-made
by men. For whatever reasons I don't know. So I don't see why I should want to treat a particular person because he comes from my. What if there's reincarnation? What if I come back in the next world, I become a Muslim or a Christian, I come back again, I become a Yoruba man or Hausa man? Would I keep fighting tribes? Is that the purpose of my life? So that faith in unity and faith is so strong there. Then the peace and progress, of course, where there is no peace, you can't think of moving forward. You focus on fighting each other rather than coming together and uniting the strength in our diversities to move on as a country with our hands together. So I think it's a very good one.
So that's to say that if we are united in peace, we will now make the progress that we want to see.
Excellent. Subsection 2 says, accordingly, national integration shall be actively encouraged, whilst discrimination on the grounds of place of origin, sex, religion, status, ethnic or linguistic association or ties shall be prohibited.
I love that word.
Totally prohibited.
Prohibited.
Any ties,
anything that
sex,
will make you
origin, religion, status, ethnicity, linguistic association, all of them.
The question now is why is it that This is a common sense, and this is one of the things that could bring that unity we're talking about and ensure peace, where we see ourselves as one, like you earlier said, that we are all the same, one people, one vision, one nation. Like we also say, one Nigeria.
One Nigeria.
You know. So these are things in the Constitution. But because we've not been able to live it out, we've not been able to see leaders that will guide the people. Because the problem and the challenges of
even the leaders themselves are also faking in this
they're
life.
also victims of this.
They're victims of this.
They not know, and I'm sure that most of the leaders don't even know what is written in the Constitution.
Exactly. I tell you. The other time they asked a group to sing national anthem. National anthem. Leaders, or I don't know what they call themselves. So how much more the Constitution?
So these are important issues, that we need, to really look into in terms of our citizenship and also choosing leaders. Leaders who do not understand this, who do not know this, not only for them to come to say it, but they live with us in our communities. We know the way they relate with people. If they don't have this mentality of understanding that we are all equal and that he's not bigger, because a leader who feels he's bigger than the people he's leading cannot provide leadership. Because what he always do is that he will wait for people to respect him, people to give him. But if you know it's your responsibility to respect others, that's when leadership can actually be effective.
I also think that they should also be asked, like in terms of holding them accountable, they should also be asked to tell the people how do, in their actions, in their programs, in their whatever they're doing as leaders in their government offices or whatever, how do they promote this section to make sure that there is this national integration in everything? That should be that question people should ask. So when you're coming to do campaign, don't come and tell me about roads. Road, there's no ethnic group that road belongs to, or about sex or religion. No, tell me these are the constitution. So everything we're doing should be in line with this constitution. Tell us how you want to bring this integration.
And that's why it's become important for people to get to know this constitution.
Yes.
And have it as a weapon to stand against anything opposing the growth of Nigeria. Because the not adherence to this constitution is the result of what we're saying today.
Yeah.
And what CPDI is doing is to ensure that every Nigerian understand this aspect of the constitution and hold it to his heart so that you can ask questions when need be.
Exactly. The third one, subsection 3, says, for the purpose of promoting national integration, it shall be the duty of the state, A, provide adequate facilities for and encourage free mobility of people, goods, and services throughout the federation. So this one is also in line. In fact, I've not even looked at this 3 when I said that every action of the government, of the states, should promote this integration.
Yes.
So the integration model of the country that is provided in the constitution, there should be a way that the government should tell the people, these are the ways I want to promote this in every of my actions. Selection of offices, appointments, distribution of projects, within your jurisdiction, you make sure that everybody, regions and areas are equally.
Yes.
So I think that's what the third one is.
Yeah, and also talked about like the road network.
Yes.
Making sure no one is deprived. That
you can move anywhere you want to go.
You can reach anyone and anyone can reach you.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can interact and get to love one another. And it's the responsibility of government to actually provide, make sure that all these things are available, so that it becomes easier for interrelationship between citizens or among citizens.
I think it also hits more on movement, freedom of movement to anywhere you want to. Exactly. So you can travel from Abia State to Sokoto and you have this sense of belonging that you are still in your state, you are still meeting your people. You will be accommodated as the same Nigerian.
Yeah.
So how to ensure that free movement, that mobility, the same thing about goods. In fact, there shouldn't be restriction so long as you are in Nigeria. So the people, the government, including the citizens, there should always be ways of promoting this and showing it in their actions that this is what I am doing to promote this particular section.
One of the people that spoke, the view he made that Nigeria used to be great.
Yeah.
And he was asked, how do you mean? I learned that before now, you can travel to any part of
Yes.
Nigeria without fear, without knowing anybody or who to go and visit. But when you get there, they will welcome you as far as you are a Nigerian. So if this has been who we are, how did we, lose this? And what are we going to do to reestablish?
A very quick response to that question is actually, we should find a way of integrating this thing as a culture in our education, starting from crèche. The same thing we are saying, that all these things, how do we entrench these constitutional values in everything we do? So if we are growing with it, I remember those days like you're talking, at least I still grew, I had a feel of that generation where you can take your son or your child and put in a vehicle and hand it over to a stranger, say, because he's going to Sokoto. When you just help me to, and the person will do absolutely no telephone then, no telecommunication, and absolutely well.
Yeah.
What else do you need? You are so happy, you are so rest at home, you have this kind of freedom. You're not afraid of anything. So I agree with the guy that we are great, and we can still, it's just our mindset. We can still go back to what it is, going by this constitution.
Yeah, and it was one of these that motivated, the former head of state, General Gowon,
okay.
to
Yes.
establish NYSC,
Yes.
Which we don't, up till now, is still on, but its effectiveness is what we are not too sure. People have been calling that there should be a remodeling of that program in order to achieve the purpose for which it is made. Because today, a lot of people have to pay to be posted in a particular place, which really does not go in line with the intended, intention of the program. Because the intention is that we all have to understand ourselves, love ourselves, stay with ourselves and learn our different cultures, which make us more richer than we are.
I don't think that intention hasn't changed up till now. So anybody that is clamoring for change on NYSC, also, in fact, I will tell you, NYSC is one of the best things that have happened to me as a Nigerian. I've not crossed the border of my state for the first time, not to talk of going to the other section. And when I got there, I discovered that the things they are telling me about the North were completely false. And by the time I finished my service there, I served, I did my master's, and I continued and everything. I discovered that if I want to call my first best 5 friends, you have 3 Northerners in that. At least I was able to know their normal culture of human relations outside political, structures and all these deceptions that people put up. We listen to the politics. We don't know the people one-on-one. And even when I was growing up, we have the Fulani community close to my house. Those days, during Salah, they would bring their whatever meat and food. During Christmas, their children will come and eat. And we grew like that, thinking that's how Nigeria was.
And life was better then.
A lot better. So what we are seeing today, that people are clamoring, is just the problem of insecurity. Nobody wants to send his child to war. People go to war these days, not NYSC. You see crisis, open, and you are sending someone to go and do, and people are being killed. Besides that, another one again is that the youths are now seeing NYSC as to go and make money. How much were you paid? So that integration, that mindset had changed.
I think that's what I was saying, that people feel it's not living up to its expectations. So it's now important for government to look into this to see how they can actually use NYSC to do more in order to achieve what this section is talking about.
So the next one is to secure full residence rights for every citizen in all parts of the Federation, just like what we just said now. Secure residence rights. That means you should be able to live everywhere and anywhere.
Anywhere you choose.
And government is not trying, we are not supporting. If it's
because you are a Nigerian, you are entitled to
anywhere,
to have a house and to live any kind of a life that is within the framework of the Constitution.
Yes.
As far as you are in Nigeria,
yes,
anywhere. That's what this Constitution is saying. But today, we are already divided along ethnic groups. Even get to a village, villagers are still in the same village. They are still fighting against one another.
In the same village, I totally agree with you.
I think these are the things that I feel government should enforce. By making sure that anybody violating this law, because there are laws of the land, if violated, the people should be brought to book.
How about living beyond making it law, but make it a culture? Do you know that people
Yeah,
it can be groomed in a lifestyle they don't even know it is already according to the law.
Exactly.
So you don't need to work hard to keep the law.
If it's become what you've been doing, but
Part of you.
the first step of it is to, this law at least is there. Let's begin to respect the law until now become part of us, that we don't need any interpretation. You know,
I agree.
begin to leave it out.
I totally agree. I will say add there is that for government, whoever that will be in position, it is a law, but there are programs, there are ways you can make it a culture. People do not need to work hard not to beat traffic. It's already in you that you're seeing red. Something in you is just stopping. That kind of stuff. So I think it's just for us.
Practice, they say, makes perfect.
Makes perfect.
So when we begin
Absolutely.
to practice this, then we will perfect it.
And we want to also remind Nigerians that this is an enlightenment program quite well. It's first for you to know that the constitution already supports what you wish. That wish, the country of your dream, is already supported by law. So nobody should take you to prison or take you to law court for doing the right thing.
Right.
You know. So section C says to encourage intermarriage among persons from different places of origin. To encourage, see that encouragement I'm talking about. Bring in programs that will encourage such, marrying persons from different places of origin or of different religious, ethnic, or linguistic associations or ties. Just like, and I'm so happy that most of our Vox Pop viewers,
And if you look at it, that's been a major aspect of our life that had held Nigeria together.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people from the West married, in the
North,
North, from North to the East, a lot were already doing that. But that government should encourage so that we can do that more. With that, you will see that nobody will want to fight his brother if you know that your sister is married in the North. And
I tell you.
You want to wage war against your people.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what the Constitution is saying. It is also the responsibility of government to encourage, to do things that will encourage people to want to do that.
Exactly.
For example, there are some countries where they said, if you do this, we will support.
Exactly.
I remember during my time NYC, a girl from the East, was getting married. And then NYC sponsored their marriage because two of them were serving at that time.
Okay.
And they are from different ethnic groups. So they used that to support them.
Why didn't you take that advantage now?
I wasn't ripe for marriage.
And the guy your mate was ripe and you left that advantage.
A discussion for another.
Okay. Well, that's a good one. Encourage, not enforce. Encourage. If you have that kind of thing, government can provide even residence for people. And you see it flourish. Before you know it, generations that are coming, it becomes part of them. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Then under section 15, subsection 4 says the state shall foster a feeling of belonging and of involvement among the various people of the federation, to the end that loyalty to the nation shall override sectional loyalties. And these Vox Pop guys showed it.
What else can we say? The only challenge we have in Nigeria, and we keep saying it, is leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership controls politics. So the polity in Nigeria is what is destroying this common love that we have for one another.
Exactly.
And I believe that as soon as we get it right, and getting it right doesn't mean we are waiting for one superhuman, but someone among us who believe in this constitution, who have eaten this constitution, like we want them to eat and know it and become it. Become a leader, because this is a building process.
Yes, I agree.
That people are not doing it before is that maybe what we're doing today, they were never privileged to go through the constitution to even know what they represent or what leadership should do. And that's why we have the problems we're having today. What we're doing today is to ensure that every Nigerian citizen understands this fact, because it's real.
It's real.
As we're looking at it, it's so joyful, reading and understanding that this is who we are, which is our true culture. Our constitution has everything that has to do with who we are, our beliefs. Somebody who wants to know about Nigerians will go through our constitution.
It's true.
And he will say, wow, these are loving people.
Yeah.
They love themselves. They believe in themselves.
Yeah.
It's only us who are not doing it. Either because, there's something we call worshiping historical issues or information. Those historical information, my father said, my mother said, which are totally against the Constitution. So let us go beyond all those and look at what the Constitution is saying so that we can be true Nigerians. Because we are not true Nigerians until we begin to act according to
and they should be able to feel themselves, observe themselves. Like I said earlier, I remember what my people said about the North, still bringing some kind of grief from the Civil War. But when I went for NYSC, I went to the North, it was a different thing entirely. I was like, why are these people? And I found, Hausa guys who were so much in love, provided everything that they even gave out some of their own for me to be comfortable. And I think this is Nigeria, we are looking for. So that loyalty, like the Vox Pop, the public also expressed, when you are asked to choose Nigeria and their tribe,
they all chose.
And very smart guy. You know that if you choose Nigeria, you are choosing every other benefits of or resources or whatever it is. And also your tribe is part of Nigeria.
Message we preach in the new Nigeria is that we said, you are Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria.
Nigeria is you.
Yeah.
That is it.
It's so enlightening too, and it's so exciting to know that the constitution of the country supports this wish.
Yeah.
We want to be free, we want to live together, we want to be happy. And it's providing, so there's not, if you're doing anything, bringing programs that will unite people and so on and so forth, nobody will take you to court. And anybody that comes to say you're doing the wrong thing, you have a constitutional power, instrument to back yourself up and defend yourself. And I think that is what citizens will start taking up to.
Exactly.
From now.
I don't know in Nigeria if people are allowed to defend themselves. Because
no, you don't need to allow me. I will defend myself. If you're taking me, if you're jailing me for doing the right thing, it's fine. So long as deep in my conscience, I believe I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. That is okay. Beautiful. It's left for your conscience to know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I love what we are doing today because for me, it's the hallmark of our citizenship or our nationality. Yeah. If we understand that, it makes you to feel well and good from within that you are in Nigeria. Exactly. Because these are the expectations. Yeah. So, and that we are not doing it yet.
Yes.
Does not make it wrong.
Please, we need to emphasize on this.
Yes.
The problem is not much of the constitution. We know that there are some areas which we'll still get to, some gaps to close up. But I'll tell you, there are so many good things about the constitution that we are not keeping the constitution doesn't make the constitution wrong. It's so sweet when you try to sink yourself in it, be familiar with that content. You enjoy it.
Especially the
chapter 2 is exceptional.
It's exceptional because it has to do with telling you who you are.
Yeah.
What your country represents.
What makes you a citizen.
And the relationship between your country and other Nigerians.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's all it takes to build a nation.
Yeah.
That's all it takes to make a society functional. And as soon as we get it right, at least let's start getting it right from now.
Yeah.
Who we are, what our country represents, what we're supposed to be to the country, and what the country is to us.
Exactly.
It's so important. With this, that's what it entails. And every other country in the world where you see their citizens upholding, so proud of their country.
It's their
because of the knowledge
of
what is in the chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution. But because we do not know, some people say Nigeria is a country divided, by ethnic groups and so many religion and all of that. Some people say Nigeria is a country of oil and gas, unknown that Nigeria is a country of a people, of one vision, one nation, and one destiny.
What makes a country?
Yes, it's about the collective.
It doesn't have to be blood brothers or sisters.
No.
It's collective vision, agreement, purpose. Yeah. So let's quickly look at the last one. That's the last subsection 5. So I love this. Very simple and clear. The state shall abolish all corrupt practices and abuse of power.
Wow.
The state shall abolish all corrupt practices and abuse of power.
I know that everybody listening to us now will ask, is this Nigeria? This is Nigeria.
We know it doesn't happen.
This is the constitution.
And the people who elect or select are being almost opposite.
And we're beginning to think that is the way. or even the only way.
Yeah.
That we don't seem to want to align with this, but to even follow, to join the processes. But truth be told, Nigeria is still Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to change because of us. We are the ones to change
Yes.
so that we can fit into
Yes.
the proper development of Nigeria. We must understand these facts and begin to align ourselves. Like most times when I say it, and I think some people also say it, and it brings problem across whenever it is mentioned, that nothing is wrong with Nigeria.
Nothing at all.
But so many things are wrong with Nigerians. Those things that are wrong with Nigerians are the things that are playing out,
Yeah.
causing us harm, progression, and inability to find a people with the right mind to actually, propel the management of our country. So, having looked at these information in the section 15 of the chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and all the items on it, like we said earlier, it's something that will encourage every Nigerian, to want to be a Nigerian and, look forward to a better nation. So what do you think we can begin to do as a people in order to ensure that we live up to the expectations or the wordings written as it is written in the Constitution? Because we've seen that if we follow through to get it right, we are sure to have a better Nigeria.
Yeah.
So what do you think we can begin to do?
So, like I said in the other segments, it's for us, knowledge is power. Let us even know what the Constitution says and how it protects our rights and what our responsibilities to our country and to each other. So once we understand that, like the program says, talk and do. The first one is the talking. The second one is now the doing.
Yeah.
How do you implement, not just, because there is this culture of, or this habit of pushing responsibilities to the leaders or to the you as a citizen, you will one day be a leader. Of course, leadership is not position. You are even a leader as a citizen.
Exactly.
So how do you start implementing those things, putting them in practice? And now you have this kind of confidence that the law of the land also protects and supports what we are doing. You know things about integration, you know how to bring in people together. You have the right to go to any state, at least you know all those rights. Then in your programs, whether as a citizen or as a government or as a leader or as whatever you are, bring that program, because the Constitution here is to make us enjoy life as citizens of Nigeria. It's not against anybody. It's something that if all of us have collectively agreed as our purpose, as our guiding developmental framework that unites us, then we shall be happy. We're not saying anybody do something differently. No, let's believe that if Sokoto man comes to my state, I will accommodate and make him feel at home. This is still your country. If I go over there, the same thing happens. That integration is what we are asking people to start, putting in our little practice, even as citizens. Then the leaders, please bring up this culture of programs that would make most of these things as a culture. Bring encouragement, inspirations, promote. Even as you are giving this award, what it OCN or OAN or those kind of whatever, give the award to people who have shown, that culture of integration in trying to make this section of the Constitution alive, as citizens. So I think it's something we encourage others. And lastly, be rest assured that once you are doing the right thing, following this Constitution, there's no law that will come against you. If any law, anybody comes against you, the person is a bandit. It's no longer within the concept of the government or the...
So the person is actually the one who is doing
He's
things
doing the wrong thing
against
the Constitution, not you. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. And truly, like you said, I'm happy that Nigerians are already on it, who are always willing, from the Vox Pop we had, that most of them say they are married to other people from other ethnic groups.
Yeah.
And secondly, some people said if they want to marry, they wouldn't mind marrying from anywhere. Exactly. That in itself has become a culture, just like you said.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to be, but once you begin to see that people are doing a particular thing, it's likely you can do the same thing.
True.
Once it's good. And that is the way. But for the purpose of our discussion today, government need to do more.
Exactly.
Government need to do more by way of emphasizing this to the ears of the public. And secondly, to see how to bring some of these ideas into the school curriculum, that it becomes something that every child growing in Nigeria already have this in his head.
This is fundamental.
It's very, very important, and it's government that can do this.
Yeah.
And once government implement it, the people will willingly align with it.
I agree with you.
And with that, we won't be having these issues we're having. You know, today we talk about banditry, it's because we do not see other people as ourselves. Whatever, I don't know the level of gain we could say we are getting from doing the wrong thing. It's never good enough. Because today is your turn. Tomorrow, it could be against you. Every evil that is against the well-being of the people, you don't know who it can be his turn tomorrow. So let us begin to do what is right. From today on, love every Nigerian you see. Don't look at the past. The past is gone. Today is a new beginning.
What matters most.
Look in the eyes of every Nigerian. You will see yourself in the eyes of every Nigerian. And whatever is the issue, we can resolve it and make a better nation. I think that is the way to go.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
We have come to the end of today's discussion on section 15 of chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You can follow our conversations and actions on our social media platforms showing on your devices. Until we come your way again, always remember that a new Nigeria is possible with the fear of God, love for the chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and respect for the rights and duties of other Nigerians. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.